How is it possible for someone to look younger at 54 than they did at 44? That's probably exactly what you're thinking right now. And honestly, I had the same reaction when I first heard about this story. Is it surgery? Some revolutionary anti-aging treatment that costs thousands? Or maybe it's just really good lighting and photo editing? Well, I investigated this myself, and what I discovered will completely change how you think about aging. This man didn't just stumble onto some miracle cure. He cracked a code that most people never even know exists. And by the end of this video, you'll know his exact blueprint. Look at this guy. This is Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard Medical School, 44 years old in this photo. And this is him 10 years later. Most people, they get grayer, slower, more tired. But him, he looks younger. Not good for his age, younger. Actually, younger. Now here's the kicker. It's not expensive. It's not surgery. It's not some secret drug. It's things you can start doing today. And when we looked into his blood work, his actual medical numbers, this 54-year-old man has the health markers of someone in his 20s. Better cholesterol, better testosterone, less inflammation, less disease. He told us something that stopped us cold. I'm better than a 20-year-old for health. And before you think this is some Hollywood nonsense, he's a genetics professor at Harvard. He's published the research. He's living it. So we sat down with him and said, show us exactly what you're doing. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through the 5 things that changed everything for him. The exercises, the eating strategy, the specific foods, the supplements, and what he actually stopped eating. And I promise you, some of this will surprise you. Here's what most of us have heard. Exercise is good for you. Do 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Dr. Sinclair, he threw that out. He does 3 things a week, just 3. But here's the difference. When he's exercising, he really exercises. Listen to how he describes it. You want to be moving so fast that you can't have a conversation easily. That's it. You need to lose your breath. You're going hypoxic, low on oxygen. And here's what's wild. That stress on your body, that's actually what triggers the healing response. Your body doesn't just rebuild itself stronger. Your tissues start pumping out chemicals that slow down aging. Just 10 minutes of hard breathing, 3 times a week, cuts your risk of disease by 30%. 30%, not by running marathons, not by spending 2 hours in a gym, by getting out of breath 3 times a week for 10 minutes. Now, the eating part. This is where most diets go wrong. They tell you what to eat. And sure, that matters. But Dr. Sinclair says the real magic isn't the food. It's when you eat it. Think about your day. You wake up and have breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, maybe dessert. You're eating constantly, right? Your body never gets a break. Dr. Sinclair did something different. He narrowed his eating window to 6 hours a day. My goal is to not eat a large meal until dinner, he says, and then I eat a very healthy vegan meal. But here's why this works. And this is the science part that's actually mind-blowing. When you're not eating for extended periods, something happens in your body called autophagy. It's basically cellular house cleaning. Your body starts recycling old proteins and cleaning out the damage that causes aging. There's a set of genes, they're called sirtuins, that only turn on when your body says, hey, we're low on fuel, no sugar in the bloodstream, no excess protein. And these sirtuins, they're your body's defense system against aging. If you don't have a lot of sugar or protein circulating, he explained, these genes activate and they defend your body against the damage that causes aging. And here's something powerful. That same fasting approach, it's showing benefits for serious diseases, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, even cancer, especially when combined with chemotherapy. The fasting doubles the benefit. The 2-week rule, that makes it stick now. And you might be thinking, okay, but won't I be starving? He gets that question a lot. And his answer is simple. Give it 2 weeks. Fill your body with fluids, he says. For me, it's constant coffee, tea, hot water all day. Being hydrated kills the hunger. And if you really need something, just a bit of protein, nuts work great, takes away hunger fast. What happens after 2 weeks, especially by week 3, your liver learns. It figures out, okay, we're not getting breakfast or lunch anymore. So it starts making its own sugar. It's called gluconeogenesis. Your liver becomes smarter than your appetite, and the hunger goes away. Your liver making sugar, he said, is a lot smarter than my eyes and my mouth eating sugar. By the end of it, he's eating just 1 large meal a day. 1. So what does a man with a 20-year-old's health markers eat? He went almost completely to plants, and his body responded, better skin, better memory, more energy. But here's the thing, not all plants are created equal. There's this concept called xenohormesis. Basically, when plants are stressed, grown organically without pesticides in harsh conditions, they develop compounds called polyphenols as a defense. And when you eat them, your body responds to those compounds by activating its own defenses against aging. Stress your food, he says, so you don't have to stress your body. So what does he actually reach for? Green tea, specifically matcha. I drink matcha tea most mornings, he told us. It's thick, dark green, creamy green tea. The compound in there, EGCG, has serious anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Spinach, not because it's trendy, because it's loaded with iron, vitamins, and those polyphenols we're talking about. Eat a diet full of leafy greens, particularly spinach, he emphasized. Colorful vegetables, bright red, purple, dark green. These are the ones packed with polyphenols. In my lab, he explained, when we give polyphenols to mice, they get healthier and actually run further, like they've been exercising. Olive oil, Mediterranean diet style. The oleic acid in it activates longevity genes. Before he went fully plant-based, he spent decades on the Okinawan diet. Lots of vegetables, soy, fresh greens from the market, a little fish. Mostly plant-based, he said. But if a completely vegetarian diet feels impossible for you, the Mediterranean diet is probably the easiest healthy option in the Western world. Now, he's clear about this. He doesn't sell supplements. He doesn't endorse brands. He's not making money. But there are 3 things he takes consistently. First, resveratrol. This is the chemical from red wine, from grapes. 1 gram mixed into some yogurt in the morning. It activates sirtuins, those longevity genes we talked about. Second, NMN. This is a form of vitamin B3. Here's why it matters. As we age, we make less and less of something called NAD. Your sirtuins, the genes that slow aging, they don't work without NAD. By taking NMN, he's doubled his NAD levels back to what they were when he was 20. Early clinical trials at Harvard show it lowers cholesterol and blood pressure. Third, metformin. This one's interesting because it's technically a drug used for type 2 diabetes. But here's the thing. People who take it tend to live longer, even if they don't have diabetes. It protects against heart disease, frailty, Alzheimer's, and it's one of the world's safest drugs. He takes all three every single day. Okay, so we know what he eats and what he takes. But maybe the more important question is, what did he stop eating? Sugar. This is the big one. The big killer is sugar, he said bluntly. Glucose, especially fructose, is really bad. If you give animals lots of glucose and fructose, they get fatty liver disease, they get diabetes. It's really bad. Here's the science. When you have high blood sugar, it attaches to proteins in your body. You literally become caramelized. And cancer cells, they love sugar. They live on sugar. That's another reason to keep it low. Try to avoid too much fruit, particularly fruit juice, he said. Yeah, sugar spiking is not healthy in the long run. But here's the mercy in this. Your body makes its own sugar. Your liver does it. You just have to give it 2 weeks to learn the pattern. Bread. The first thing I cut out was a lot of carbohydrates, he explained. I used to eat bread every day. If I ate something, it was on toast. That's my life. Then he stopped. And here's what happened. His glucose levels dropped. His focus improved. He stopped getting those crashes, that shaky, tired, foggy feeling that comes from spiking and crashing blood sugar. I've never been so focused. I've never been so brain fog free, he said. I wish I'd done this in my 20s because I've really never felt better. Meat. This was harder for him. I love meat, he admitted. It tastes really good. It's just that the science says plants give you a better bang for your buck for longevity than meat. When he cut it out, his cholesterol dropped, his triglycerides dropped, and he had a family history of heart disease, so this mattered. The protein in plants has a ratio of amino acids that stimulates longevity genes, he explained. If you eat meat every meal, your body's just not fighting aging the way it could if you ate more plants. He's not saying, never eat meat. Fish has omega-3s. You can have it occasionally, but the emphasis should be on plants. Dairy. Just to experiment, he cut it out, and it made things even better. Why? Because it was more protein, eggs, yogurt, cheese, and too much protein, he says, interferes with the mTOR pathway, which is really important for longevity. Alcohol. A recent research showed daily drinking isn't good for you, so he cut it out. But if you can't imagine life without wine, choose stress-sensitive grape varieties, he said. Pinot Noir is one of the most sensitive, and that's why it has the most resveratrol of any other wine. So, here's what this all comes down to. A 54-year-old man has the health of a 20-year-old, not because of genetics, not because of luck, because he made 5 specific changes to how he lives. 3 hard workouts a week, a shorter eating window, plant-focused foods that are stressed and colorful, 3 supplements, and removing the foods that were aging him faster. Is it easy? No. He's honest about that. But is it worth it? I'm better than a 20-year-old for health, he said, and his blood work proves it. You don't have to do everything at once. Pick one thing. Maybe it's the 3 hard workouts. Maybe it's narrowing your eating window. Maybe it's swapping out bread for vegetables. Start there. Your body responds faster than you think. Especially at our age, we've earned this. We deserve to feel strong, clear-headed, and energetic in our later years. So what's the first change you're going to make?